Hey guys, it's Corinne. Welcome to another new video. I'm going to be talking about my man, Neville Goddard. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Corinne. I am a huge Neville Goddard fan. I have been studying self-help, spiritual intelligence, personal development for the last 20 years of my life. And within the last year to 2 years, I've recently heard about this guy, Neville Goddard. And he really, to me, brings the whole law of attraction and creation and really just brings it into a crisp, sharp perspective. So, if you're into that, if you're into creating the life on your own terms and living the life of your dreams, come with me because I'm going to share my personal experience. I'm going to share authors. I'm going to share insight and knowledge that I pick up along the way. And right now, my main focus is Neville Goddard. He is my man. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing a couple of the key concepts of this book called The Five Lessons. It is written almost like a lecture, and he discussed 5 major components. Now, I have not completed the book, but I have been taking like some study notes here because whenever I read Neville Goddard, I have to keep rereading the same thing over and over because it's just like mind blowing. The stuff that this dude talks about really rearranges the thoughts and how I perceive life. So yeah, I want to just talk about a couple of Neville Goddard's key concepts. Off the top of my head, I would say the number one thing that Neville Goddard has taught me is that we are always creating our reality. And for some people, that's a hard concept to grasp. For me, it's not a hard concept to grasp. I feel like I have always known that my intentions, my actions, my thoughts, and what I do is always impacting the world around me. But on a deeper level, what Neville teaches is how our inner world, who we believe that we are on the inside, that is what we assume, and that is what goes forth in front of us. That is kind of like what is leading us throughout our day. The other thing that I've learned from Neville Goddard is these inner conversations and how potent and powerful they are. I'll give you a quick example. I used to work for an employer who was very abrasive, rude, demanding, but paid really well. And it was in an industry that I wanted to learn a lot about. And I already knew that I was a smart, talented person. And so I worked there for a long period of time because I wanted to learn the skills. I wanted to learn this trade. It was something that was important to me. But over time, I realized that the owner was just a total ass. And, you can't always just say to your boss, you're a total ass, or, stop being a jerk. Well, you kind of can, and maybe on occasion I did. However, I realized I was having these inner conversations with myself to him constantly about how what he was doing was wrong, and I could just find myself perpetuating the same experiences. And then one day I came across a book by a different author. It's called The Magic. I still read this book now, by Rhonda Byrne, and she talks about having appreciation and gratitude for the people and the things that are in your life. And so I did this one thing, and it completely changed my relationship with the employer. And what I did, in her book, she talks about how people are very important. Relationships are huge in your life. And one of the exercises is to get a picture of the five close people, not the most important people, but 5 close people in your life, and think about what you're grateful about for them. So with this employer, I decided that, well, I'm working here. I'm a single mom. I don't really want to look for a new job because this is providing the income I need to take care of my family. How can I turn this around? So, with this picture, I wrote down the 5 things that I appreciated about this individual, and I realized that even though they were being a jerk, there were still some very good qualities about this person. So, I completely changed my inner thoughts and my inner world in regards to my boss, my former boss, by writing down the things that I was appreciative. Rhonda has you take a picture and look at the picture and say, "Dear so-and-so, I really appreciate that you offer a substantial bonus that allows me to save for buying a new house." Or, "I really appreciate that you give me the opportunity to work in a field that I don't have professional training on." And so when I began to write down the things that I was most appreciative about internally about this person, the whole relationship changed. Now, fast forward, studying Neville Goddard, he talks about inner conversations a lot and how we are always having these inner conversations. And it made me reflect back to years ago how I was having such negative inner conversations. Yeah, they may have sparked them with their bad attitude, but I received it and I responded and I continued to respond and I continued to feed that negativity in my mind, in my conversation. Neville Goddard teaches that our inner world creates our outer world. So by me believing that this guy is a jerk, no, I'm not the only one that believed it, just saying, but by me continually to have those conversations about what he should be doing, why it was this and why it was this rude and demanding, I continue to create that within my world. So when I applied Rhonda's teaching, it cleared up all that negative energy and those negative beliefs. I started and began to make more money. I was given new opportunities. I was given a new position, bigger bonuses. I began to make over $100,000 a year for this company, up to $148,000 one year. And so I know that my inner world, our inner world, is always creating our external world. And Neville Goddard, he just articulates it in such a fine way. So, first challenge I have for you today is listen to yourself. What conversations are you having? Because that is what you're going to see in your world. If you're having conversations of, "I don't have enough money. I don't know how I'm going to get my mortgage paid. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. My kids are always driving me crazy. My husband is always, needy," and whatever the case may be, or "I'm so fat. I wish I could lose weight, but it's so hard." You are creating that, okay? So that is the first part of this video. A brief overview, if you can call it brief. The second part I want to dive in is into this book, The 5 Lessons. So upon reading the 5 lessons, there's a few statements in here that I had to underline and keep rereading. In lesson number 1, Neville titles it, "Consciousness is the only reality." So from this chapter, there are 2 things that I go back to every day that really stand out. And I'll read them for you. The first one, as you assume that you are that which you want to be, you have completed the name of God. He uses biblical terms a lot. The final result, the objectification of your assumption, is not your concern. It will come into view automatically as you assume the consciousness of being it. So Neville's first point is assuming the consciousness of being it. So let me ask you, what do you want? Do you want more money? Do you want freedom? Do you want a wonderful lover that is there for you and takes care of you mentally and financially and emotionally? Do you want a better relationship with your kids? Do you want to be a real estate agent? Do you want a new career? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want your business to thrive? So assume that you are that which you want to be. Don't concern yourself so much of the how. Oftentimes, I've done this a lot because I don't know how it's going to happen. You shut it down. Oh, I want to open up a beautiful restaurant. Oh, well, I don't have enough money and restaurants always fail. So blah, 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 blah. Can't happen. As you assume that you are that which you want to be, you have completed the name of God. The final result, the objectification of your assumption, is not your concern. It will come into view automatically as you assume the consciousness of being it. So that's the first part I wanted to read in this chapter. The second part, which is just phenomenal to me, he states, these are the two names which give you dominion. 1, you have dominion if as you walk the earth, you know that your consciousness is God, the one and only reality. You become aware of something that you would like to express or possess. You have the ability to feel you are and possess that which but a moment before was imaginary. The final result, embodying of your assumption, is completely outside of the office of the three-dimensional mind. It comes into birth in a way that no man knows. So here, Neville is just dictating and illustrating that our consciousness is God. We are the operant power. That is what gives you confidence. That is what gives you dominion, is knowing that you are the consciousness. Your consciousness is the same as God. And so with that, we are creators. We are always creating our world, whether we focus on the negative and assume that feeling and create that, or focus on the positive and bring that out and create that. You've heard the old saying, is the glass half empty or half full? You know? The second part he talks about us having dominion is that becoming aware of something that you want to express and assuming that, possessing it in your imagination first, assuming it, taking ownership and accepting it as so. That is the second thing that gives us power. I'll give you a very quick story. I have an amazing business, shopwinebar.com, where I sell a collection of home, wine, bar, and entertainment furniture. Now, upon launching my business, I started with some manufacturers, but there was this one particular manufacturer that I couldn't get in touch with anyone at the company to request to open a dealer account. Upon speaking with them, I got told no multiple times, that they were not accepting any more online dealers. So basically, I was told that this is not going to happen. But when I looked at my business, I knew that their product was superior to anyone else that I was working with. And I personally love the product and personally want it in my home. So I decided I'm working with this company. And a few times throughout the couple months, I would make sure that I included them in my morning journaling, that I'm so thankful that I'm working with them. And I just began to give thanks that I'm already working with this brand. I went to go see them in the furniture shows a couple times, once in Las Vegas, once in High Point, North Carolina. And I was also told, no, we're not taking any more online accounts. Bye-bye. This hurt, okay? Because this is the company that I wanted to work with. How could they tell me no? Like, to my face multiple times. And then I would send some emails to the contact and also got replies 2 weeks later, no. And then one day, I sat right here in this very chair. I looked at my laptop and my computer, running my business, and I said, God damn it, I'm working with them, okay? And I closed my eyes. I put myself into a meditative state. Midday, it wasn't like crazy morning hour meditation. It was just, all right, I'm going to take 15 minutes and I'm going to look at my business internally, and I'm going to think about where do I want my business to be? How much money do I want to make? And so I do this. I close my eyes. I mentally look at my computer screen, and I give thanks for all the orders that are flooding in. And I'm so happy and thankful that I'm now receiving all these orders every single day, and that my business is successful, and I'm making X amount of dollars every month. The thought popped in my head to send this company an email, and the title in the beginning it said, all right, I know I can't compete with Amazon on sales volume, but here's what I can offer. And I know that you guys get a lot of requests for dealer accounts, but here's what I offer. And so while I was in the midst of my meditation, the thought occurred to me on what to say to this gentleman in the email. And then I just gave thanks that he got the email and that he opened my account. It was incredible. So I finished my meditation. I was doing some breathing. I was doing some visualizing. And then I was literally speaking out loud. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much that I am now working with this great manufacturer and customers love the product. And I'm receiving orders every single day. And so, and as I do this, I am mentally picturing my computer in my screen, seeing the hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales that are coming in, and I'm receiving X amount in profit margin. I crafted an email to him. It took me some time, but it did include those two statements that, hey, I know I can't compete with Amazon. They're the largest freaking online retailer in the world. And I know that you get a lot of requests, but you're just not another manufacturer to me. Your products are special, and I offer a personalized service to the online shopping experience. I crafted the email, I submitted it to them, and bam, within 30 minutes, maybe an hour, but I will tell you, within an hour tops, I got an email response back saying, I have opened your account. Here's your login details. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will tell you, it was one of the best feelings in my life. And I will also tell you this. I assumed the consciousness of it from the very beginning. I had my doubts because they shut the door on my face a dozen times. I got turned down, but I persisted in spite of my doubts, and I got the result. And this manufacturer is the #1 selling brand on my website right now and has the highest profit margins. Boom. Done. Created in your inner world, okay? Shut out your outer world and become in consciousness that which you seek, and that is how you get it done. In the words of Neville Goddard, this stuff works. So now I'm going to go to my notes and I'm going to share with you some key concepts. Concept number 1 that I'm learning from Neville. Assume the consciousness of being that which you desire and do not concern yourself with the how. The how could have told me that they're not opening new accounts, I don't have enough volume, I'm a small business. No, erase that thought. The how doesn't matter. What you assume and create in your imagination and identify with, you are creating in the 4th dimensional world, and you bring it here into the inner world. The how is not your concern. That is your consciousness that does it for you. We are all powerful, all creative, and I will tell you that your consciousness is God. God has no limits, and he moves mountains. So let's go. Number 2 concept, accept your power. As you walk the earth, know that your consciousness is God. Feel and possess your desires mentally and your imagination. Persist in this belief, persist in this assumption, and it will harden into fact. Now, concept number 3, Passover is key. You cannot desire and be I am and receive the new you if you hang on to the old you. What old consciousness do you need to let go of to move into your present self? Do you need to let go of the consciousness that times are hard, that you never have enough money, that there's not enough good guys out there or good girls out there? You cannot be in the relationship that you desire while you still hold the belief that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and there's no good men out there, and that making money is hard. Whatever it is that is holding you back, you damn well better identify that. You better write down what your old belief is, okay? Get real with yourself. Figure out what the freak are you identifying with. I do a method where I write it down on a piece of paper and I ball that crap up and I throw it in the trash can and I say, I am no longer limited by this belief. I no longer have the belief that making money is hard and I never have enough. I adopt the new belief that making money is fun, making money is easy, and it comes to me every day, all the time. I am a money magnet. And you walk around in your consciousness of that which you create. You bring yourself up to it, and when it dips down, you remind yourself that your consciousness is God, and as you assume that which you desire, you embody it, and you persist in that thought, and you push aside the old self. You say, it's time to grow, you got to go, okay? Next. You must have a disciplined mind. In meditation, imagine what you desire. Imagine that your wish is fulfilled. You must die to the old self. Die to the old self. Take on the new identity. So I think of it as clothing because I'm a very visual or mental person. We're all visual. We're all mentally imagining things in our head all the time. But just an example, say you were taking off your old dirty clothes, or you were in rags, and you're just taking off these old used clothes that no longer serve you. And you put on the new attire, you put on the new identity. You are getting dressed in your Louis Vuitton or your Burberry or whatever designer clothes it is that you like. Just imagine that you have taken off the old self and you now put on the new self. How does it feel to be the new version of you? Question mark. How does it feel? Write it down. How does it feel now that you have a successful business and you are working with the best manufacturers and you're making money online every day? I can tell you it feels amazing. I can tell you it feels awesome. It feels like enoughness. It feels like worthiness. It feels like joy. It feels like freedom of choices. It feels like you are enough. I am enough. And write down what that new state of being is like. And then close your eyes and give thanks for being that new being. Give thanks for the joy. Give thanks for the freedom. Give thanks for the happiness. And when you go out into the world and you see things that contradict, say, that's not part of my belief system. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am in love. I have an amazing home. I take wonderful vacations. There are plenty of men out there. There's plenty of women out there, or whatever it is that you desire to date or experience. Tell yourself what you want it to be. Your mind is always listening, and it does what you tell it to do. Stop telling it the wrong things. Tell your mind what you want to experience and put on that attire of enoughness of what it is that you desire, okay? And the next thing I have is that you detach your attention, which I just talked about, and refocus it entirely in a new direction. So instead of here, you put your attention on what you want to be, because we are the operant power, okay? We have the ability to create. We are always creating, so you may as well create what the heck you want. The last thing I have in my notes, point number 5, is identify yourself with the state that you seek and feel the joy of it and let go of the desire part of I want, I wish, and be. So for me, that is pure gratitude. That is pure thank you, thank you, Thank you that what I want is already here, that it's already done, and I am living up to it. And understand that as you do this, you will begin to change the world around you. One thing that I recommend doing, I will tell you, what I do periodically is in my journal, I will write down every day of the week. And I will actually challenge myself to say, did I get up this morning and go into my state of my new identity? Did I do it in the evening? If you can go back to that state consistently, what you consistently embody is what we are creating. The trouble is that we typically embody the same crap and we regurgitate the same crap. So if you want to create something new, you got to do something new. You've got to be something new, okay? And that is my lesson on Neville Goddard for today. A little bit longer of a video than I was expecting, but I hope it was worth it. I hope you understand that we are always creating our reality through our thoughts, through our feelings, through our identity of who we believe we are. Now it's time for you to ask yourself, who do I want to be? What do I want to create? How does it feel now that I am it? Take off the old rags that were you and put on your new luxurious self and walk in the faith, the belief, and the knowing. And when something pops up that contradicts who you are, who you desire to be, say, that's not part of my belief system. I am God consciousness. And as I assume that which I desire, I create it in the fourth dimension and I bring it in, okay? Don't worry about the how. Just experience it in your imagination first and stay faithful to that concept and come back to it every time the doubting Thomas creeps into your mind, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've watched all the way to the end, God bless you. Thank you. Go ahead, hit the like button. Leave me a comment. I want to know, where are my Neville Goddard fans out there? Have you heard of Neville Goddard? Have you read any of his books? Did any of this resonate with you? What resonate? What identity are you assuming? Let me know. All right. Thank you guys. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and that bell notification, and I'll catch you on the next video.